please don't get me wrong. I do understand the hypocrisy when it comes to my reason for drinking a White Claw, even though I'm a big boy. It's like, what's the point? Anyway, I always hate the fact that I always have to make these kinds of videos. Like, I hate ranting and like blabbing about on and on and on and on and on about some shit. Like, for what? For what? For what? But here's my fundamental problem. We've all seen the headlines, YouTubers getting fined over, is it a billion or 100 billion? I don't even know anymore. Numbers get so ridiculous that, let's be honest, for broke boys like myself, I can't even comprehend. It's like, you know how you used to have to use like analogies like, this is this many football fields to like fill this, just so that it conceptually makes sense to you. Like, the numbers these people are like talking about or fighting or even bragging about Jesus Christ, just ridiculous. You know what I mean? So it had me wondering, what's the point of all of this? And I feel like fundamentally, I do agree, like a lot of people that take up sponsorship deals for certain things have to not necessarily pay the consequences, but yeah, get what's coming. You know what I mean? I feel like the fair point to start, as opposed to just throwing out a ridiculous number like that. I mean, if anyone who actually understands how like this things usually goes, like laws and like what happens if they go to arbitration and all the stuff, it's like at the end of the day, the individuals involved in the case are probably going to settle for a smaller amount. And I feel like it should instead be exemplary in the sense like they actually have to pay out what they gained like monetarily, because that's the only thing that we can kind of accurately calculate. I mean, I know probably they made more for the company because they were like super reputable, like internet YouTubers, so to speak. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I feel like this is actually making us forget the actual root of the problem. Because I feel like a lot of richest people, or like the elite of the world, the elites of the world, so to speak, feel duped and whatever, but they can kind of like stomach that. And this is the problem for the regular folk. And the thing, like, we forget, like, as who the fuck, Sam Beckman-Fried, whoever that guy is, like, he's the fundamental mastermind of this shit. And I feel like the way that justice should be served, yeah, everyone that has a role to play, whether it was indirectly, whether you just got a paycheck, like a blank paycheck without asking too many questions, whether that's the case, what you fundamentally have to do is like, you gotta start at the top, deliver the consequences at the top, like focus on the men on top, like his fellow compatriots are like literally snitching on him at this moment, and already had the cases with the SEC, exposed everything, whatever it is he was saying during his media tour, trying to be like, I will provide. I mean, a lot of people could see over the BS, but finally people in the inside were like, yeah, you're not gonna get your money. So I feel like I don't have a problem with us holding a lot of the YouTubers that we look up to, especially financial YouTubers, cause they project that they are the most knowledgeable, so they are more of a trusted resource. I think someone mentioned something like, if Tom Brady did whatever, like, yeah, it's Tom Brady, just a football. Like, if you like it, yeah, it's a very passive, even if you get inspired by it, it's more like association, kind of like seeing your favorite rapper having beats by Dre or something like that, you know what I mean? But when it comes to the actual financial YouTubers that we look up to, like, these are the people we look for advice. We realize there are scams out there. Thank you, Coffeezilla. But we realize that these are the people we look up to, and we hopefully want to be in a better place where we can be like, no, this is wrong, this is good, this is wrong, this is good, this is wrong, this is good. And they were those authoritative resources. And if anyone is supposed to do their due diligence, I know the fucking master plan that Sam Beckman-Fried had in his mind was literally the manipulation and like trying to legitimize everything by embedding himself in everything, like in the politics, the donation, everyone, Kevin O'Leary, Shark Tank. Like, that was that's the only genius I can recognize for his approach. The rest of like his blind shadow legs, I'm like, y'all get duped by this motherfuckers all the time because you wanna believe. It's like we live in a weird world where like people have lost their relationship with God, or like they're like, oh, I'm secular now, but they still have that innate reason to like worship some shit. You know, some people worship people they're in relationships with and be like, nigga, you in a relationship with God, or is that another person? And other people are like super obsessed with like their cars or whatever. And then we have people that are looking for a messiah to like save the perception of crypto or whatever. And like it's very easy for people to get stuck in Satan mindsets or ways of seeing things. And I feel like right now, I know this is a very disorganized rant, but I want one thing that we should never forget is hold the person at the top accountable first and foremost, and then the justice can trickle down. Because the problem is what ends up happening, sadly enough, most of the time, is the person at the top is not gonna get as much as they gained out of the situation of the manipulation, and the foot soldiers end up getting to suffer the most. It literally feels like those drug dealing cases, like when you bust like an operation, you know who gets caught up? The foot soldiers, the moles. You know, those are the people that get caught up, and those are the regular people pushing product just to like feed their family or whatever, not to justify anyone doing anything criminal. Like if you do something criminal, you're not playing by the rules, you should suffer the consequences. But the fucked up problem is like the fucking generals or whatever, of the leaders of like whatever, are actually having dinner with the governors and be like, come on, you gotta let my boys go. We all know this, and that's what's frustrating me. It's like, yeah, put the lawsuit, but the thing is, let's not try to detract attention for like what's actually happening. I mean, I trust the people. I trust the people at like the New York second court, whatever. I can't pronounce it. You see, like, you know. But at the same time, it's like, I don't want the media aspect of it, because a lot of people get away with things because as people in general just forget, and there's not much incentive for the people with the power to persecute to go forward with a lot of things, because at the end of the day, they're just serving society. You know, that's what they do. Like, we want society to be fair and stuff like that. And the moment society itself stops caring, then they stop caring too. And I feel like, I don't know, I just don't want us to get caught up in some bullshit. So yeah, the $100 million suit or whatever, I get that, but let's keep our eyes on the prize. Sam Bankman-Fried needs to go to jail. Like, not like no. This motherfucker thought he was smarter than everyone and duped a lot of people in positions of power, and that became a snowballing effect, and people started respecting and thinking he's reputable because he was very brilliant in manipulating the initial few, but wasn't brilliant enough to actually make crypto work. Because the thing is, I'm not a crypto dude, but I'm more of like, I get excited by new tech and all that stuff, but I'm like, it kind of saddens me that every single thing that crypto was supposed to be, it's like, now you realize why it hasn't worked till now. The reason why we still use the US dollar, it's because, you know what? If something happens, you can always call on the SEC. There's regulation. You may not like it. It might be slow, redlining, but people don't get to lose all they have. Do we have lobbyists? Do we have malicious actors that have a tendency of exploring different avenues to gain resources, gain power? Yeah, we do have those, but we get to see them and we notice them. I mean, some get away. You know, it's always the saying, like, if you fuck over a rich person, you're not going to get away with it because they can see you. But if you fuck up someone who doesn't have that much money, it's just more like, oh, I give up, you know. But, I mean, not to, like, incite anything, but, like, for me, I feel like as people in the middle class in general, or, like, even people low income and all that stuff, it's like, or, like, as the non-1%, let me put it that way, we should stop being tolerant of bullshit. Because the thing is, the system that we hate so much keeps working because we perpetuate it. Like sexism, or like the patriarchy, fuck, I don't, you know what I'm trying to say, exists simply because even though we realize this is actually detrimental for like the actual thriving and success of like the individual relationships we have and like the way we progress in society and everything, but we still keep on like reinforcing a lot of those things. Like I can make another rant on that again, but yeah. Anyway, let's not focus on the big lawsuit. Let's always come back to the money, come back to the source, because like we don't want someone pulling some shit like this again. Like we just don't want, we cannot have that.